Howdy folks, Spencer here, and with the launch of the Unleashed season, information about an upcoming legendary ship bundle has been unintentionally revealed. I'll be breaking down that and other developments from the Unleashed release in this video. As always, chapters to each section are listed below. And diving right into the main topic, with the patch that brought us the Unleashed season, there was also a remaster pushed out for the Tier 6 Negh'var variant of the Negh'var. This is a high quality remaster that you can freely access over at the Shipyard Tailor. Now, a remaster alone is not always an indicator that a new variant of a ship is incoming, but in this case, that wasn't the only change made to this ship. With the patch, a change was also made to the console that comes with the ship, the Molecular Cohesion Nullifier, and as you can see there, it speaks for itself. It now lists a legendary Negh'var Dreadnought Cruiser as one of the ships that you can use this console on. So this isn't a guess, this is 100% confirmed. They accidentally put this update out for the console with the patch today. A legendary Negh'var is going to appear sometime in the near future. Now, as for what we can expect from the legendary Negh'var, whatever it is will be an improvement over the existing Tier 6 fleet version from April of 2015. That Tier 6 fleet version is a battlecruiser with a 4-4 weapon setup and only a Lieutenant Commander command specialization seat. And with this legendary variant being a Dreadnought Cruiser, that means on top of having a modern Commander plus Lieutenant Commander dual specialization combo, it will also have a hangar bay. Now, up on screen is all of the fleet-level Dreadnought Cruisers currently in STO, with the newest at the top, oldest at the bottom. As you can see, a 4-4 or 5-3 weapon setup is possible here, but given we just had the Voth Stronghold drop as an event ship with a 5-3 weapon setup, you would hope that this would also have a 5-3 setup. Now, as for the specialization combo, I would hope it would keep the command. Command would make a lot of sense on a ship like this, especially one that has detract fire. And if it does get a Commander command, my ideal combo at that point would be then a secondary Lieutenant Commander Intel. And this is a spoiler for an upcoming project, but Commander plus Intel is one of the 7 Bridge Officer specialization combos that I classify as S tier. It's just a really strong, versatile combo for tanking, DPS, and pet builds. And just to be clear, that is what I'm hoping to see on the Negh'var. They could go a completely different direction. We'll find out whenever this ship drops in the next couple of weeks. And shifting over to the Nebula, ever since the Melbourne variant was shown in the Battle of Wolf 359, it has been highly requested. Unlike the Negh'var, I don't have a console here saying that there's a legendary version of the Nebula incoming, but what I do have is the consoles from the lower tier versions of the ship suddenly losing their restrictions and becoming usable on any ship with the patch today, which is very suspicious. We've seen other consoles losing these sorts of ship restrictions prior to a new variant of a related ship being released. For instance, the Voth consoles had their restrictions removed months before the Voth Stronghold was released. Now, as for what to expect here, legendary ships are often the best versions of ships, but in this case I have very strong doubts that they'll be able to beat the Terran Monitor Miracle Worker Science Carrier. The Terran Monitor just happens to be one of the best science ships in the game right now, and unless they're wanting to give us a second Ark Royal, I would temper expectations. I'm not saying that the legendary Nebula would be bad in any way, just that the Terran Monitor is one hell of a ship, and it'll be extremely difficult to beat it as the best Nebula variant, from a performance point of view. And the third ship here is the one that I'm the least confident of, the Romulan Dhelan Warbird. As with the Nebula, it had its console unrestricted with this patch. However, that also applies to the Federation and Klingon variants of the ship, which have the exact same console. But given we already have a confirmed KDF ship and a likely Fed, that does make the Romulan version of this escort seem the most likely. Now, for the Dhelan, the best version we have is the Fleet Tier 6 from March of 2017. It has a 4-3 weapon setup and only a Lieutenant Commander Intel specialization seat. I used this ship quite a bit back when it came out. It worked well with dual aux to bat 1s back when we used to use auxiliary to battery for cooldown reduction. And now that I think of that a bit more, that was 8 years ago. Yeah, thinking about this ship, talking about it, makes me feel old. So yeah, if this gets a legendary upgrade, so long as they retain the Intel seating, the legendary should be the best version of the ship. Slap a 5-2 weapons layout on it and a commander specialization seat that's good to go with the Intel, and it'll be a solid ship. And to recap, the legendary Negh'var for KDF is confirmed and will be the best version of that ship. The legendary Nebula is likely with the Melbourne skin and will likely be popular for the kit bash options, but I don't have much confidence in the performance of the ship beating out the Terran Monitor variant. That one is just crazy good. And for Romulans, the legendary Dhelan looks like the most likely candidate. and if that is the case, that should also be the best version of that ship. Now, I have no idea on pricing, especially if this is just the 3 ships. We haven't had a 3-ship legendary pack before, but I'm guessing a base cost of at least 12,000 Zen. And being legendary ships, they will be locked to the bundle and would not be available standalone. And for those of you not familiar with legendary ships, they're modernized versions of ships that include all skins, consoles, and starship traits from the prior versions of the ship released before the legendary. There's no new console on them, but they do get a new starship trait at Tier 6 of Mastery, and what's nice is that once you level that up on a single character, it is unlocked account-wide. And shifting over to some other news, with Unleashed now live on PC, the contents of the Infinity Lockbox have been updated to include the items from the last generation lockbox. So that means the Deuter stat is now in the T6 ship box, though they did accidentally remove the Trafalgar, and they'll be re-adding that in the near future, I would imagine. Now, the only oddity I found here is that for the bridge officers, you don't actually get to pick. It is still the RNG box that you pick from the bridge officer manual pack, which I find to be a little bit disappointing. I would really have liked to have been able to have picked the specific ability, but still, at least there's going to be some more supply of those items into the market. And next up, for the new Lobi space trait, Enhance and Protect, there's currently an issue with it where if allied NPCs or pets are in range of you, you get locked into Red Alert, and it also gets refreshed while captain abilities are active instead of on cast. So Jeremy has already confirmed that both of those issues have been addressed internally, and we'll see those fixes rolled out with an upcoming patch. Next up, thanks to Arena on the Deca team, a major fix went in today for the Turei phase of Korfez. For the past 3 to 4 years, this had been broken and dumped all the Turei into the map in one wave, causing all but the best teams to fail. After this patch, it has returned to spawning the Turei in much smaller waves that can easily be managed. So if you've been deterred from trying Korfez due to that bug, on PC with the Unleashed patch now live, you no longer have to worry. Go try it out and have some fun. And many of you have asked what is the fastest option for the event daily. The answer is the mini episode All That Matter. You can even bank up progression ahead of time by running that mission on alts and then not turning it in until you need the progress. So I've already done the mission on this character and I will turn it in. I'll hit the continue button to get the rewards tomorrow when the daily resets. So that is the best option. And again, you can go do it right now on a bunch of alts and then just go through and turn them in day by day without needing to actually play the event on those days. And that is it for today. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about these potential legendary ships. What sort of bridge officer seating do you hope they have? What sort of traits? Any other unique perks you hope they have? Let me know down below. And I'd also be curious to hear what you guys think so far of the Unleashed season. I thought the TFO was interesting. It does have some issues and pugs, but I'll talk about that more in a future video. The episode I enjoyed. I'm not someone that really does too much of the story stuff in this game, but I thought it was a good episode. The animation and cutscenes, the story, it's all come such a long way compared to the early days of the game. But again, that is it for today. So thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.